Howdy folks, Nathan Adlin here coming to you from Culver City, California. And we're doing something special today, a comparative drive between three vehicles and the 2016 Fiat 500X. It's a quick drive. This is one of the comparative vehicles. Nissan's interesting Juke, and this one is all-wheel drive. Now this is the Chevy Trax. And then of course we have the Mini Cooper Countryman. And finally, something very interesting, the Fiat 500X, but this one has the 1.4 liter engine, which is turbocharged, and a 6-speed manual transmission feeding the front wheels. And that is what we're going to compare to those. And that's coming up next.
The Nissan Juke, in many ways, is polarizing. A lot of you don't like it just because of how it looks and because of the CVT. However, there are a few things you should know. First of all, this is the all-wheel drive one that is almost completely loaded. So it has leather, has a sunroof, and comes out to $28,810. But that's not a fair number because a lot of these other ones are base model. So, highway mild MPG 31. So that's not too bad either. I would say that if you were to get this in the front-wheel drive model, bare bones, it's going to be much closer to the price of the Fiat 500X with its bare bones setup, so it's going to be in the low 20s. All right, and then there's another thing that you guys should keep in mind. The Fiat 500X, the Mini Cooper Countryman, and this vehicle all come with some form of 6-speed manual transmission. The Mini is the only one that gives you a manual transmission and the option to have all-wheel drive. This one, you can have a manual transmission and front-wheel drive. And I gotta say, it's one of the best little engines out there. This is also a turbocharged 1.6 liter.
In my mind, there's no doubt this is the smallest of the group, right? That's
by far.
Obvious. Yeah, it is also the sports car of the group. It is a WRC version of, this car category, this segment. So it's the most tossable, it's the most stylistically polarizing.
Yeah,
for sure. But it's, I think, the most fun to drive too. It really is a hoot to drive.
Yeah, it's got really good pickup. Yeah, and
you can feel that turbo just kick in.
This thing handles great.
Yeah, but if you have a family, if you're
so small,
looking to put some coworkers in the back seat for a drive to lunch, they're not going to be happy.
No, and the roof slopes back.
Look at my head, it's hitting, dude. I can never stand
a car. That toupee of yours is just too spiky. I told you next time put on the smaller one.
Here, I'll pull it off.
Yeah, there you
go. Oops, it doesn't come off.
But it has the most dreadful interior of all of them.
Well, it's motorcycle inspired, right? There's this
that's a tank thing here. Okay, my motorcycle. Enough of that.
Look, we're old. Let's face it. The youngsters, they love this stuff.
Some of them do. They can't keep these things on showroom floors.
My son loves this. He loves this little, display that shows you torque, that shows you turbo,
which is way down there. So you look as you're driving. Oh, look at my torque! As I'm looking down there, they need to have it higher up. What this car does is that it gives you a lot of car for the money. I will agree with that.
All right, dude.
Jesus, who was driving this?
Andre? No, he's not here. All right, we're in the brand spanking new, and this is also new because this segment is red hot.
Who could drive like this? Who could drive leaning over?
Oh no, in the 2015 Trax. And this guy comes in at 25,215, which is almost identical to the Mini.
Yeah, it is. And this is also just the front-wheel drive version. This is not the all-wheel drive one, which is available.
And check it out, dude. 34 on the highway.
Yeah.
Substantially more than the Mini.
And look at the engine. Go on. Find the engine. It's interesting.
I'm trying to find the engine. Exterior, interior. 1.4 liter, 6-speed automatic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once again, very similar to the Mini. And we drove this in San Diego, Emmy and I.
We did.
And yeah, in the rain. It was okay. It was better than I expected, to be honest with you. I've driven the Buick before, and I really like the Buick version of this, which is the Encore.
Yep.
Although it's kind of slow, and part of the reason why is because it's so bloody heavy with all the extra stuff they put in there. This is a much lighter vehicle with the same type of power plant. It is nowhere near as sporty as any of the vehicles it competes with, but as I will demonstrate to Roman in just a moment, it does have a little tiny bit of kick.
All right.
Little tiny bit.
Hang it right here. Let's see what we got here.
Yes, sir. I will make
Now, guys, we're struggling to find open roads here in Culver City, so we're doing our best. But it's you know, it's an urban environment, so it's got a little bit of kick. There's a little bit of salsa there.
Just a hair.
There, yeah. It's also very roomy.
Yes, it's the roomiest of the bunch by far.
Yeah.
The headroom is great. Backseat comfort's pretty good. Overall, there's a lot of room in here. This is really built for the small family. It's not like the urban dwelling vehicle that the Mini and the Fiat 500X are. You know what I mean?
You're exactly right. This feels to me like the most family friendly. If you've got a small family and a dog, right? That this would be the kind of car that you could easily live with and get all your stuff and all your family into in a comfortable way.
The seats fold very easily in the back. There's really good 3 across room for kids, good cargo room. The whole point of this vehicle, though, is for family comfort and ease of driving. It's great for traffic, and otherwise it doesn't get your blood boiling, but a lot of people don't want that. They just want a really good conveyance vehicle that does everything well, and this one is really in that zone.
Yeah, I'm going to use a word that I think Chevy's not going to enjoy, but it's just a little stodgy.
I don't think it's a little bit, maybe. You know what? Part of the problem is I don't like the way they designed the nose. I think the Buick is a much better looking vehicle.
Yeah.
But that's not saying that it's ugly. It's just saying that it's not that rewarding to look at.
Yeah, I think they made it very conservative, if I'm being, politically correct.
Yeah. But what is the overall highway MPG? It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's 34. I mean, it blows the other car out of the water, at least the Mini, at 27. And we know they haven't announced on the Fiat, but we know it's going to be over 30. But, usually that means 30-ish. We'll have to wait and see. And the British entry, Nathan. Or is it German?
Well, it's British and German, and guess what? The transmission's built in Japan.
So it's a very international vehicle.
It is somewhat interesting, yeah.
And it feels a lot more premium than the 1.4 liter Fiat 500X that we were driving, because this is a more expensive car. How much is it?
This one comes to $25,950, but it only has a few options. It's the automatic transmission being one of them. The thing is, yes, compared to the base model Fiat 500X, yes, this does feel more premium, but the Fiat 500X we drove with the leather interior and all the upgrades, I'd say that they're pretty damn close to being equal.
Yeah, this is true.
You're good on my side.
And I think the MPG, at least on this one, is
27 combined, 25 city, 30 highway.
To me, the Mini is more, I think, a lifestyle personality vehicle. This seems the kind of car that if you want something that expresses who you are, and if you want something that kind of says, I'm a young urban hipster, this would be or even a country hipster, this would be the vehicle that you drive.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, think about this. The base engine on this one, which is 4-cylinder, puts out 121 horsepower. So this is a not larger, but it's a heavier car. And it's more intimate inside, yet it puts out less horsepower.
Oh, for sure. I've got a Ford now, and a lot of noise.
The base model engine is great for the regular Mini Cooper, but this car is a lot larger and a lot heavier.
Yeah, and there's something, I'm sorry, just wrong about having a 4-door Mini. Sorry, Mini. I just think it seems, strange. It always comes back to kind of that original car that Alex, I can't pronounce his last name, designed, that was a true Mini, right? There's nothing Mini about this anymore. But for me, style-wise, packaging-wise, just overall kind of aesthetics-wise, I like the kind of the German/British sensibility of this more than the Italian kind of Mickey Mouse feel of that. But that's personal preference.
Yeah, it's personal preference. For instance, I think Italian is just great. Italian women, Italian food, Italian clothes, Italian cars.
Italian reliability. Oh, sorry.
I know. And that's going to be over time. Time will tell with the new Italian cars that are here. So I'm not even going to go there.
Trouble, that's copywritten, dude. All right, now this is the first time we've driven
a little curb.
Little curb, yeah. You've driven the 500 with the 1.4 liter front wheel drive manual 6-speed transmission, and I've got the facts and figures right here while you
yeah, that's okay.
While you put through its paces. So base price $20,000. That means this could be more.
Yeah, but you know what? There's no options in this thing that I mean, I've been looking all over. It has the small 3-inch screen. Yep. It has no navigation. It has no sunroofs. It has the basic wheel and tire package. So as far as I can tell, this is as base as it gets.
So maybe it is 20K. We've got 160 horsepower, 184 pound-foot of torque, which is actually, I think, more than the 2.4 liter Tiger Shark. It is. Right?
Yeah, it has more torque than the Tiger Shark.
Which is in the bigger engine choice in this car.
Absolutely. Oh, that helps if I actually have the ESC on instead of off. So we're gonna go straight.
Somebody was driving it rather spiritedly last time, huh?
I wasn't me. Wasn't me. No, I don't do that.
All right, so the question is, this segment right now, these kind of small crossovers, they're just red hot, right?
Right.
So we have a lot of different cars coming into this, but Fiat was kind enough to provide us with these 4 cars to test. So right now, this is of course the youngest of those, the newest.
Yep.
And I love this interior. I think that the red kind of pops it. And speaking of pop, I think that's the model, the pop.
Yeah, this is I think the base model is the pop, yeah.
There are 5 different models you can get of this, but this is the base model. And how does it drive, dude?
Well, so far so good. It's not the throws.
Yeah.
Because you only can get the manual transmission with the 1.4 liter. You can't get the 9-speed automatic with it. So there's long throws. It's not as precise as the Mini. If you had the Mini with the manual, that's much more direct in terms of shifting. Steering feels about the same. You can kind of mess with it a little bit, but for the most part, it's electrically assisted, and as such, there's very little feel. That was my gripe with the other more expensive version of the 500X. The one thing I can tell you right off the bat is that this thing feels like it's a lot of fun to drive. It tugs at the leash, kind of feels like it's happy. Happy cars are fun.
This one is the most European of them. It just feels like it was designed for European streets. You know, you can see this thing zipping around the streets of Rome.
Well, the Juke was designed with Europe in mind. I mean, that was the first market.
But with an Asian flair.
With an Asian flair, exactly. You know, they're very different vehicles, I can tell you that, but right off the bat, I can tell you that the Juke is way more tossable.
Yeah.
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 This has a much more settled ride. It's quieter and has a much nicer interior.
Let's put our money where our mouth is. If you had to pick one of these, and keep in mind we haven't driven the 500 very much, which would you pick?
That's a tough one. I like the 500 a lot. The interior is very comfortable, so that's one aspect of it. But the other side of it is, what about the interior space and all that with all my family?
Pick one. Pick one. Do you think 500X?
Yeah, I think the 500X or the Chevy Trax, just because I have a family and dogs.
All right, for me, 500X is fun. It's European, but my heart is stolen by the Mini. I just love, like you said, the refinement of the thing. I love the fact that it's a lifestyle vehicle, maybe because of my age, right? I'm getting that empty nester age.
Your walker can fit in the back of it.
Yeah, my walker would fit in the back, so that's why I'd go for the 500X.
Okay.
No, that's why you go for the 500X, because your walker would fit in the back.
My walker, I'm young.
So that's why I would go for the Mini. As always, this is Roman.
And Nathan.
Saying thanks for watching, and check out tflcar.com for more news, views,
and real world reviews.
quickie reviews.
Quick reviews.
Ciao.
Bye.